I'm 48 years old, perimenopausal, symptomatic, and this is what I use or what I used to use to control my symptoms. Remember that we are different. What works for me might be different from what works for you. We respond different to different medications. So I should have my womb. So I need to have the estrogen and the progesterone together on my HRT. So the progesterone, progesterone is done easily on my HRT because I replace with the Mirena coil. This is a copper coil in reality, but just for demonstration, I use a T-shaped device like this, but with a progesterone hormone inside of it to protect the lining of the womb against the effects of the estrogen, to protect against endometrial cancer. My estrogen pathway was a little bit more tricky. I started with the estrogen, which controlled my symptoms very well. I was just using 2 pumps. However, I didn't like because I love moisturizing my body. And we know that as soon as you apply the estrogen, we need to wait for at least half an hour before applying any moisturizer or any sun protector. So this is the reason that didn't work very well for me, although I might go back to that. And I'm going to explain soon. I tried the Sandrina, but Sandrina, yes, is the area of the body is small that you need to use the gel. However, I found it very sticky, very gluey. So I didn't like the Sandrina. So I changed for a patch. I changed for the Estradot patch, which I love, absolutely love. Which was changed twice a week, so you don't need to wear every day. And I was moisturizing my body exactly as I was doing before. It's a very little small patch that looked like a second skin. However, it's not being delivered to the UK market recently. I heard that soon it's going to go back to the market. However, I think that's more than 1 year that we are not having Estradot anymore. So I changed for the Everel patch as well, which I tried for more than 3 months and I didn't like at all because it gave me a lot of skin irritation. It's much more plasticky, you can see. It gave me a lot of skin irritation and I couldn't bear with it anymore. So then I changed as a last attempt. I just changed for a trial of a Lanzetto spray. I just collect my new prescription a couple of days ago, which is just a spray that is delivered to the skin. However, my symptoms are not very well controlled on the spray. So here we go. I should not sort out properly my estrogen pathway yet. Perhaps I go back to the gel in the future. Because remember, it's advised to be in a HRT for at least 3 months for us to really assess the symptoms. And the progesterone point of view, I'm using the Mirena coil not only for the HRT, but for contraception as well. Because remember, HRT is not contraception. There is a risk of getting pregnant. Now, moving on from the non-hormonal aspect of my replacement. I use vitamin C and zinc for many years. I try to use the capsule instead of the effervescent one because the effervescent one there's other substance mix on these, but I run out of mine. I just bought these on my local shopping until I get my proper one. Vitamin D every single day. We don't have sunlight. Well, now it's an amazing summer, but we don't have sunlight in the UK. So every single day. And creatine every single day. And the protein only when I exercise, after my exercise, half an hour, maximum after half an hour after exercise. I try to have some turmeric at home and I use it quite often. A lot of more research needs on these herbal medication, on this part of the medicine. However, it seems that they have some good anti-inflammatory components. And what we need to have on this phase of life is to have a anti-inflammatory diet and an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. So I hope it helps. And I haven't got that yet. I don't consider myself completely sorted, but that's a progress. And of course, I almost forgot, water all the time. water.
And I forgot to mention one of my favorites, magnesium. It's said that it's good for the muscle, it's good for the sleep, but I never have a problem to sleep or muscle problem. I take for the constipation point of view. I suffer for many, many years with constipation, and despite doing proper diet, and this was a savior on my life.